Everybody, welcome to the most depressing comedy show in the history of mankind. This is the Dusty Smith Show, and as always, thank you for joining me tonight. I'm sorry for the background noise. I have all of the things on because I am burning the fuck up. Here in Mississippi, it's like 10 billion degrees. I think that's pretty accurate. So I'm hot as fuck. Deal with it, fuckos. It's okay, a little background noise. I will talk over it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll turn the microphone down a little bit, put it close to my mouth. Yay! All right. How the fuck's everybody doing tonight? As always, we have a tremendous show. Worked hard on it all day. Gotta do a little religious bullshit to start us off. Some trash world. It's all trash world. I'm finding more and more stuff is fitting into the trash world category these days. It's all trash world all the fucking time. But as always, gonna start off opening your hymnal to page 1 because we're gonna do a little bit of religious bullshit, religious bullshit, religious bullshit. It's time for religious bullshit. It is time for religious bullshit. Hell yeah! And you know what the worst thing you could do if you're a Catholic is? I know what you might be thinking. Rape a little kid? No, of course not. Put up a BLM flag. Yeah, that's a verboten to the child rapist. Bishop revokes Catholic title from school over its BLM and pride flags. Oh no, not love and support for minorities. Terrible. What does it mean to be a Catholic? It means to be involved in the largest pedophile ring in the history of mankind, to go to your work every day, exchange your very valuable, very finite life hours in exchange for money, and then give it to a bunch of rapists who are going to fuck your children. You know, scum. Some of the worst people on earth, Catholics, to be honest with you. But anyway, Bishop Robert J. McManus wants this school to know you can't call yourself Catholic anymore because of your pride flag. So super cool. Way to stand up for the really important things in life there, pedophiles. Yep. Not doing you any harm, really, to be honest with you, school. You should be getting as far away from Catholicism as you possibly can, especially if you're a school. Keep your kids away from them pedophiles. And next up on Religious Bullshit, as always, folks, going to read the super chats halfway. So please go to your super chats. Immortalize yourself forever and ever in the super chats. I read every single one at halftime. The more you donate, the more serious I take your comment and questions. So buy my love, super chats. And next up, Lauren Bobert out there wants you guys to know Jesus would have murdered everybody if they had had AR-15s back then. It just makes sense. Let's have a listen.
On Twitter, a lot of the little Twitter trolls, they like to say, oh, Jesus didn't need an AR-15. How many AR-15s do you think Jesus would have had? Well, he didn't have enough to keep his government from killing him. So...
so you're saying if he would have AR-15s, he would have stopped the government from killing him? Doesn't that go against the entire point of the Bible? You know, the fact that God, the all-knowing, all-powerful, supreme being, the only possible way he could show us that he loved us was to torture and murder his son. Yeah, okay, that sounds great. And he had to do it because Jesus had to die for our sins so that we could go to heaven. But apparently, he could have just murdered everybody with some AR-15s, but he's magic, right? He could have just pulled an AR-15 out of his ass. Couldn't he have? Couldn't he have just blinked? He was God, after all, and had everybody dead, so I don't know. Flaw in your logic there, Lorena Bobert. And then, people, I know what this next guy is about to say is not going to make a lick of sense, but that's just because you're too fucking stupid to understand it, all right? This is self-proclaimed prophet Johnny Inlaw going to tell Blobfish about how Mo Didigal won the Belmont Stakes, and that was just God's secret message to all of us about Donald Trump. This is just how an all-knowing, all-wise God operates, and Johnny Inlaw going to explain it to us.
Mo was named after momentum, but it is also a short for Moses. And it is also, MO is, the state of Missouri. When you write out, it's MO, and Missouri is the show me state. So there's a little bit of Moses, there's a little bit of momentum, and a little bit time to show me that goes with it. The the initials of Missouri.
That just makes sense.
So now let's break down this name Donegal. It's Donegal. So it's Mo Don Egal. And remember, we're decoding prophetically. This happens all the time. People do it naturally with numbers and names.
Gotta do it prophetically,
and
y'all.
So Don, first 3 letters, Don. Now who's Don?
Donald Trump.
So there's Don Trump.
Johnson.
Now if you want to say Don also means gift from God, it also means king.
Definitely, that's what I was
and
thinking.
in some way the Lord, fine.
All of the above, all of the above.
We already
above,
have pointed out that his name is associated with this region and with the walls of Donegal already.
Break the
Trump.
walls
So
down.
it's not just we're inserting that foolishly. Egal, E-G-A-L, it's not just short for egalitarian, but it actually has a definition on its own, still meaning the same thing.
Same
Egal
shit.
means equal. And egalitarian, again, it's also the shortened form of egalitarian, means based on the idea that people, remember, we the people, that people are equally important and should have the same rights and opportunities. Another definition, all humans are equal in fundamental worth. So we see this thing of Dawn contending for we the people so that our rights and our freedom exist the way they're supposed to.
That's right, folks. God, in his infinite wise glory, decided to let Mo Donegal win the Belmont Stakes as a symbol to us that Donald Trump will make sure all of us have equal rights. That just tracks, folks. The only reason you don't understand it is because you have no faith. Where's your fucking faith? You guys need to start believing things that evidence more. That's how you get to wisdom. And guess who's back? Back again. Everybody's favorite crazy pink-haired prophet grandma's Burke, Cat Kerr. And Cat Kerr wants you guys to know that every Jewish person is going to go to heaven. And this seems unfair. Let me play it, and then I'll explain how fucking cruel and unfair a God who behaved this way would have to be.
One of the questions I recently got sent in the mail actually asked me, so if the Jews are God's chosen people, do they still have to accept Christ as their Savior, or do they get like a free pass into heaven? Oh, everyone accepts Jesus Christ as their Savior. They are all going to accept him. He is the only way to cleanse all of your sins and give you entrance into heaven. I thought I'd throw that out there for free.
You said something that I think is going to create questions, so I'm going to clarify. You said everyone accepts Jesus. You don't mean every single Jewish person accepts Jesus, do you?
I do at the time of death.
You're saying every Jewish person does accept Jesus at the time of death? Every single one?
Yes, because he appears to them.
Okay. Wow, I hadn't heard that.
That's right, folks. The Jews are so special that upon death, Jesus appears to them all. So they have proof that he exists, so they can accept him and go to heaven. Whereas all of us non-Jewish people, we don't get that proof. We just have to be tortured for eternity, forever and ever and ever, in never-ending hellfire. That's just fair. God has his favorite, folks. Some of his favorites get a free pass to eternal salvation and a life of paradise, and some of us, he just didn't pick us, so we have to be tortured forever, not given the same evidence and knowledge. Cool, God. He seems like a great being. Let me worship him immediately. And then, folks, she wants you guys to know that in heaven there's dinosaurs, and we get to ride them all.
Katrina's 6-year-old son wants to know if there are saber-toothed cats and woolly mammoths in heaven, and also can you ride them?
Of course you can.
The answer is absolutely yes. So when I say yes, there's saber-toothed tigers, why wouldn't there be? You know, God made them. He made the dinosaurs before he put you on the earth. They were here. There's evidence they were here. Nobody can deny that.
Right.
And that was a very, very, very long time ago. And so, yes, you can have a saber-toothed tiger as a pet. You can ride the pterodactyls. They have a place in heaven where you can see every kind of dinosaur he ever made, and they're all...
Poor pterodactyls. They in heaven and people riding on. They're like, what the fuck is this shit? I existed for like millions of years. Weren't even people on this planet. Now I gotta spend the rest of eternity with these assholes riding me? Oh, hell no. Fuck God. I don't blame them. Pterodactyls always getting the raw end of the deal. And then, folks, starting to think Christians might be psychopaths a little bit. The Texas Attorney General wants the parents of Uvalde, whose kids were massacred, to know, hey, God has a plan. I think I would just have to say, if I had the opportunity to talk to people, I'd have to say, look, there's always a plan. I believe God always has a plan. Life is short no matter what it is, and certainly we're not going to make sense of it. You know, a child being shot and killed way before their life expectancy, but God has a plan, and you might not understand it. But it was just the plan of the all-wise, all-loving God for some crazy person to walk into your kid's school and blow their fucking brains out at 10 years old. It's great, though. It's amazing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He loves you. We're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to pass any kind of common sense gun regulations or nothing, but just be happy that God murdered your kid, because he knows what he's doing. Who are you to question God? So ungrateful. Fucking Uvalde parents. And then, folks, I know what you're thinking. Thinking in these trying times, God does not seem to be sending his best. I mean, why would God need to send anybody? He's all powerful. If he wanted something done, he could just blink his eyes and be done innocently. He wouldn't need anybody, but that's just stupidity, folks. God is sending his best. Like this Christian nationalist. Gonna explain it to us all.
Is God's servant. God has given him the answer.
It's true.
It's true.
God works in strange and mysterious ways. I mean, God can choose whoever God wants to choose for his messages and
that doesn't make any sense.
His point across. And I'm blessed. I feel honored and blessed and privileged that God chose me to
genetic specimen.
The patriots know what the answer is for taking back the constitutional republic, because there's a lot of psyops going on. The Q psyop, which was put in place to make people think, ooh, the insider white hat good guys are inside and they're going to take care of the communists. That's all a psyop.
Well, Donald Trump is literally spreading Q narratives all over his true social media. Dozens upon dozens of posts backing them up, spreading this shit. So you're saying Donald Trump is behind this psyop? No, he's not. You don't hold him accountable for anything he does? Okay, keep going.
To deactivate patriots and keep them from doing anything. Make them sit on their ass and think somebody else is going to take care of it for them. No. We have to take action. And I know exactly how to take that action.
He knows, folks.
And it's simple, and I've said it in a lot of recent videos. It's legal, it's lawful, it's peaceful, it's smart, and it's intelligent. You've never heard your commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump, say this. We've never even heard Ron DeSantis say this. He's my governor, and he's the greatest governor Florida's ever had, and he's doing a lot of great things for the state. He's even talking about organizing the National Guard. But the militia is the people. That's the bottom line. We, the people, are the militia.
He's so
the militia
regulated,
is not instituted by governments. The state has a statutory authority to create the National Guard. The United States federal government has the military, right, which is volunteer people. But even then, the government cannot use our volunteer people to violate the Constitution or attack its own people. So
we got to attack our own people.
Simply have to organize the militia. The funny thing is, when you say organize the militia, people are so dense, they don't get it. They immediately jump to the wrong conclusion. Oh, the FBI is going to be at your house. Oh, you can't say that. What? I'm not going to get guns. I'm not marching to Washington. That's not what organizing the militia is. Organizing the militia is, let's have a point man in every county. A point man for every state and a point man for the nation. That means there's a person in every county where you know you can call that person and they are the recognized point man for the militia in that county. And they coordinate training. They coordinate training on the laws, having meetings to study the laws, having meetings about how to do court procedures for our rights, and having gun safety lectures, and having gun training in appropriate locations. Organizing the militia. It needs to be organized. Structured.
You heard it there, folks. That's what God wants. Organized militias in every town, every state. This guy has been given the grand wisdom. I mean, just look at him. If you were going to pick somebody to give your all-wise word to, it would definitely be this man. Yikes. Then, folks, prepare your shock face. Youth pastor convicted of multiple child sex charges. In 3, 2, 1, do your shock face. Did you do it? That was fun. Yep. As always, every week, over and over again, it's the religious raping our children. Pedophiles, pedophiles, pedophiles. A Lancaster County youth pastor was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 teens after a jury trial last week. Shane Ernest Richardson, 55, was found guilty of aggravated indecent assault of a person younger than 16, corruption of minors, unlawful contact with minors, indecent assault of a person younger than 16. So as always, the parents gave him access. I guess they broke up and they're like, well, we need our kids to go somewhere. Let's just send them to live with a youth pastor. I'm sure they'll be safe. They're totally... He raped them? Yes. In January of 2021, the victims report that Minham Township Police Department officer Troy Hinkins that had been assaulted by Richardson while residing at his residence after their parents divorced and lost their home. Richardson was a family friend. Yep. Groomers, groomers, groomers. That's what they fucking do. I mean, all the statistics show it. Your kids are much, 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 much more likely to be molested by somebody in the clergy, some preacher, some priest, than drag queens or trans people ever fucking thought of. But like I said, these people don't actually care about kids getting raped. It's just a political tool to make sure they can take power and destroy democracy, and they're doing it. It's working. Going to go over that in the show. Going to show you exactly how well it is working, how much they're destroying our democracy. But first, on religious bullshit, I've been showing you guys these steadfast fellows for the last couple of weeks. Now, their playbook is very simple. They know that there are a lot of Christians out there who are completely fucking homophobic, just the worst pieces of garbage on the planet. Just hateful, spiteful, murderous, violent. And they know that if they just say the most ridiculous, insane, cruel things, that people will spread that message for them like I'm doing. I'm sort of part of the problem, but you got to cover it, right? And then, yes, a lot of Christians will be aghast at what he's saying. But the ones who actually agree with him, because we're broadcasting it, will know where to go to find their brand of hatred that they love so much. And they're giving these guys tons of money for saying shit like this. So here he is again, back this week, talking about how we gotta murder all homosexuals. But now he wants it to be even more painful and cruel than it was before. Because of course he does.
They're sick and gross because the Bible says so. Because they've been given over to a reprobate mind. Their conscience has been seared. And not just the male also the women too. Right? All the lesbos, all the dykes, all these butch dykes out there, they deserve the death penalty too. It should be a crime and they should be punished with death by the government. You know, and quite honestly, putting a bullet in their head is too nice. You know, the Bible said to stone them with stones. That's a little bit harsher of a punishment. You know, that punishment lasts a little bit longer than a bullet straight to the head. That's the easy way out, honestly. You know, when you're receiving a few stones to the head and to the body, you're going to feel that pain for a little while, right? And you know, I also like it is God is using His own creation to stone them or to kill them, right? You know, if they're found guilty of sodomy, the government, a righteous government, would put them to death by that means.
Yeah, folks, he wants you to suffer, but like it also says that you have to stone disobedient children, says you have to stone adulterers. So does that mean Donald Trump has to be stoned? No, you only pick and choose the things you want to, and you have a bigotry towards gay people, and yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Horrific, folks, as always, that's what they do. But here's the good news, folks. Here's the good news. They've dropped 6 points in the last 5 years for number of people who believe God exists in this country. It's still 81%, apparently hitting a new low, which is incredible. I'm guessing only even a smaller amount of that is Christians, but still way too many. It's 68% among young adults. So thank you, Steadfast. Thank you. Blobfish. Thank you, prophets. Thank you, MAGA, for destroying Christianity. As I've said a million times, you guys have done it far faster and far better than I ever could. People are fleeing from you, and it's not surprising. They should. You're fucking evil. And next up, what are you saying over here? Damn it, Dusty. Thee, not me. I know, right? It's always thee, not me. Do as I say, not as I do. And all right, folks, that was my religious bullshit. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate it. Now, we're going to bring the Elon Musk section back. You know why? Because he shall be Elon. And Elon back this week with all his fucking hijinks. First off, he appeared in a video call with the Twitter folks, and that seems pretty obvious. He ain't gonna buy Twitter. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll see what the fuck happens. But he did a video call with the Twitter employees, and apparently it was a fucking train wreck. They said he was stuttering all over the place, couldn't form fucking sentences. He was talking about space aliens, calling himself the techno king. At one point he said all lives matter. Just don't make any fucking sense. Talking about how much he loves free speech. But he only took questions that had already been written down that he knew in advance, because of fucking course he does. That's what he does. And a lot of people are pointing out that while Elon's going out there bitching about people having gender-affirming care, didn't you have gender-affirming care? First off, look, he had his nose done. His nose is way smaller, but you got your hair did, dude. That's gender-affirming care. You want to feel more like a man with a full head of hair? It's fine when you do it. It's fine when Joe Rogan takes steroids to make himself feel more like a man. Gender-affirming care. But hey, not for trans people. Fuck y'all. Because, you know, it's still acceptable in our society to pick on trans people and to scapegoat you. And so he doing it. Richest man in the world, as always. And then some of his SpaceX employees wrote an open letter about how embarrassed they were by his hijinks, all the shit he's pulling on Twitter. They think that SpaceX should be like a serious company that's doing important things for all of mankind. And him going out there and constantly making a fucking idiot out of himself on Twitter is distracting from the company. And they constantly get asked about it, and they're embarrassed. So they wrote a big letter about it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, personally, I believe the allegations to be false. Well, this is somebody talking about his offering to buy a woman a horse if she'll masturbate him on a plane. But anyway, they're just giving their grievances. He said, specifically publicly, hey, I want you guys to criticize me. I welcome it. Please criticize me. So they did. They put out this letter and told him they wish he would behave better in public. So of course, Elon, being the grown-ass mature adult he is, he sat down and he listened closely to the criticism, and he took it all in, and he did some self-reflection, and then he used that criticism in order to improve himself as a... I'm not just kidding. He fired them. Of course he did. Of course he did. At first he's like, I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that's what free speech means. The next thing you know, SpaceX fires employees involved in letter critical of Musk. Now, of course, they couldn't just come out and say, hey, we fired all these people because they dared criticize Elon Musk. Because no, he's a free speech absolutist. You can't say that. So what they're saying is, oh, well, they made some other employees feel uncomfortable because they was trying to pressure people into signing this letter who didn't agree with it. Of course, we only have their word for that. They're not allowed to speak out, of course. They're going to be fired if they speak out. So we just have to take the management's word for it. But we really know why the fuck he did this. We've seen this before. He's fired people before for talking out against him. He literally canceled somebody's Tesla order for criticizing him on a blog. So this is what it's all about, folks. If you believe for one fucking second that Elon Musk cares about free speech, I have a bridge to fucking sell you. Last show, I was talking about how Saudi Arabia in Dubai, and now I know, folks, Dubai is not in Saudi Arabia. Dubai is actually in the UAE, but it's basically the same shit. It's like Saudi Arabia light. So I take that back. It's not in Saudi Arabia, but it's in the UAE. But it's basically the same shit. Anyway, the investors from the UAE which is just a bunch of more Muslim extremists, are also big investors into this Elon Musk Twitter deal. And if you think those Muslim extremists are putting in hundreds of millions of dollars because they really care about free speech on Twitter, good God, how naive are you people? It's obvious what he's doing, but of course, his sycophants will worship him fucking anyway. And this is the richest man on earth, folks. This is the kind of things the richest man on earth is tweeting. This fucking human adult baby. Mom, me with a weird lightsaber I found in Rob's bed. Yeah, it's a dildo or something. Hilarious. Just shows you that meritocracy is all fucking bullshit. It's the same way somebody like Donald Trump was able to become president. It's all a fantasy. They want to pretend meritocracy exists when it doesn't. It's more about being in the right place at the right time. And, yeah, just as you would expect the richest man in the world to, he's full on fucking shot. Talking about the first time he ever voted Republican. He voted for Myra Flores in Texas, who is a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Of course, the first person you voted for is a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Why wouldn't it be? Just, this is why we can't have nice things, people. The rich are very good at using their money to distract the poor and convince them to vote against their own best interest. And here's more examples of it. They ask him who he's going to support as president. DeSantis, of course. Ron DeSantis. Yeah, I'm a super lefty, yo. I'm a socialist. I love me some Ron DeSantis. And then he goes on. Somebody asked him, but your political donations will be evenly spread out, as you do always, right? And he's like, I'm thinking of creating a super moderate super PAC that supports candidates with centrist views from all parties. You know, super centrist, like Ron DeSantis and QAnon conspiracy theorists. So obviously all he's going to do is fund chud candidates that make sure he doesn't have to pay an extra dollar in taxes. And then he may also throw a few dollars towards like Tulsi Gabbard, who is right-wing as shit. He pretends to be on the left. I wouldn't be surprised to see him donate to Jimmy Doorknob, who apparently is running for president. And then he'll be like, see, I also support the left. But nope, they're not left-wingers. We see right through that, hey, you fucking tool, and god damn it, he's so pathetic. I don't know if you guys saw the new video put out by Cody Shode Johnston from Some More News, but he did an excellent takedown of Elon Musk in his last video and how pathetic Elon is. He's clearly so desperate for people on the internet to like him, and it's incredibly transparent and cringy, as the kids used to say. And here's a great example. Him surrounded by 3 sycophants, and I don't know what's more embarrassing, the way he acts or the way these fucking ass kissers act. Let's have a look.
Let's check, see if I...
We can do a time check too if we need to.
No, I'm just... A friend of mine is like suggesting that I troll hard drive by posting more memes from them. I'm just gonna keep stealing their memes and posting them without giving them credit.
People love that.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole point of a meme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And typically you like the meme too that you'll post, and so people know where it's coming from.
Memes belong to the people.
Yeah.
You create your own memes though, don't you?
I saw it create some memes.
Your meme game is strong.
Oh my God. Your meme game is strong, says a 50-year-old fucking man. Who are these people? Good God. It's 1996 or 2016 all the fucking time with these people. They've escaped from 4chan, but it never got out of their system.
Who controls memes? Controls.
My friend is saying I should post hard drive memes and declare that I made it myself.
I made it myself.
and then tell hard drive to stop copying me.
Wow.
Wow. You're hilarious.
I don't have an AI will figure out how to copy it.
Yeah.
Good God, they're just so awkward. Man, anybody can be rich in this fucking trash world. And speaking of which, let's roll right into it, folks. Trash world! Trash world! Does a fire hellish trash world? Trash world! And it's all trash world all the time on The Cult of Dusty, the most depressing comedy show in the history of mankind. And first off, Thousands of cows have just dropped dead unexpectedly because of global warming. Yeah, here they are. Depressing as fuck. I guess the humidity is really high out there in Kansas, and heat's really high, so yeah, just dropping over fucking dead. Like we needed more problems with the food supply chain. Just fucking trash. And then, of course, conservatives ran to Twitter to deny this had anything to do with global warming. This had almost 40,000 likes from Carson Crow, freedom fighter, entrepreneur, artist, therapist, who says, if you believe 3,000 cows in southwest Kansas all died at the same time because of climate change, you're not smart enough to be my friend. Well, like, I don't want to be your friend, but, very common for cows to die of heat stroke and shit. That's what happened. But 40,000 people denying global warming, as they always fucking do. And Marjorie Taylor Greene wants you guys to know that global warming's actually good.
This earth warming and carbon is actually healthy for us. We've already warmed 1 degree Celsius, and do you know what's happened since then?
Yeah, the ice caps in Antarctica have melted faster than they have the last 5,000 years. They're saying that the oceans might rise as much as 10 feet in the next 10 years or so. Not amazing?
Here, let me tell you. We have had more food grown since then, which feeds people. We are able to, producing fossil fuels keeps people...
Producing fossil fuels? The fuck does global warming have to do with that? What are you talking about?
House is warm in the winter. That saves people's lives. People die in the cold.
Right.
This earth warming and carbon is actually healthy for us. It helps us to feed people. It helps keep people alive. It helps. The earth is more green than it was years and years ago, and that's because of the earth warming. That's because of carbon.
Yeah, the most popular congressman in all of Congress, folks, has the biggest war chest. This is why we're doomed. Hey, at least I'll be dead. I don't got no kids, but you got kids out there, huh? Not looking good for them. And this next one hurt me to my soul. Dwight! No, not Dwight. Holy shit, I love me some Office. Seen every episode of The Office like 10 fucking times. And I like Rainn Wilson. Dude's a good actor. Seems likable, but for some reason, he decided to go out and make a trans joke. Now, I don't even know what the punchline of this joke's supposed to be. Usually jokes are funny. I don't know. So apparently he read a guide released by Public Health Services in the UK. And the guide explained that while we're still using breastfeeding for most moms, if you are like a midwife or something and you encounter a trans person who is breastfeeding, that you could use more inclusive language. That's all it said. So Rainn Wilson got on the Twitters and tweeted out this banger of a joke that says, "Today I learned you can no longer say nursing or breastfeeding about transgender. No, nursing or breastfeeding. Mother, you have to say chest feeding person. Just FYI." And this would be a funny joke if he's making fun of like right-wingers who actually believe this is real. But that doesn't seem what he's doing here, I don't think. If it is, the joke went over everybody's head, so everybody was like, "Oh yeah, dude, that's stupid." First off, who says you can't say nursing or breastfeeding mother? Like, literally, no one said that. No one said you have to say chest-fitting person. Now, maybe, like I said, maybe he's doing this to dunk on chuds, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like he's doing this to dunk on the woke. Oh my God, they've gone woke. That's what it seems like. So anyway, not surprising. People are like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, Dwight? Why are you acting like your character from The Office? This is very disappointing." So then he apologized. He was like, "Yesterday, I tweeted a mean crack about breastfeeding versus chest feeding. I don't even get the joke. What is it? After speaking with some trans friends, wink, and educating myself a bit more, I want to apologize for the tweet. it was adding to misinformation and meanness. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it's good he apologized, but it still seems like he must be leaning towards this woke. Oh my God, everything's woke. The whole fucking world's going to shit because of woke. Seems like that's kind of the direction his mind is at right now, which is depressing from a guy I have always liked. So hopefully this is a one-off and he will not continue this behavior, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm glad he apologized. He's trying to victimize himself. It's all good, I guess. Just sort of disappointing. And speaking of woke, oh yeah, people are like, Jesus, comedy is being killed by the woke. You're fine, Dwight. Yeah, isn't comedy dead? I mean, we literally live in the golden age of comedy. It's never been easier to write funny shit because the world is so crazy right now. But definitely your banger of a joke there, Rainn Wilson, was hilarious. And the fact that you deleted it killed comedy. Good lordy, y'all. And then, on the trash world, oh yeah, folks, they're just telling you about what they're going to do. So this is Christopher Rufo. And he is the guy who started this CRT panic going on in the world right now. And he admitted from the very beginning what he's going to do. He said right off the bat, what we're going to do is any talk of racism whatsoever, any talk of slavery, any talk of inequality, we're just going to lump that all into CRT. So if you teach any of it, we can just fearmonger and declare that you're teaching CRT, and that way we can win the argument. These people don't give a shit about telling the truth. All they care about is staying in power. They hate democracy. So he's just saying it right here, what he wants to do. Conservatives should start using the phrase trans stripper in lieu of drag queen, even though drag queens are not trans. That's completely different. But it doesn't matter. He knows that. He's about to admit he knows that, but he doesn't care. It has more lurid set of connotation and shifts the debate to sexualization. Drag queens in schools invites a debate. Trans strippers in schools angers an unstoppable argument. Let the left try to nitpick the phrase. We can say that trans is a stand-in for transvestite, and we can show videos that are undeniably strip shows. Yeah, from cis people. So they're just telling you, folks, and it's terrifying what is happening in this country because of this. Here's Candace Owens just outright saying that if you are supportive of your trans child, if you love them, if you're just trying to make their life easier so they don't kill themselves, the government should take your children away. And they're not just idly saying this, folks. They're coming for your children.
Our society has become increasingly disgusting. I spoke about this last week. And when you start to see that your government is sponsoring that, when they're putting real dollars behind things like Drag Queen Story Hour in New York City, you should realize that something nefarious is going on, because the government does not care about your children. No, the government does not love your children.
We are the government.
The government does not want your children to be accepted. The government wants your children to be enslaved to government for the rest of their lives.
You're thinking of Christianity.
Right now, as we're seeing, there is a marriage between government and big pharma. It is my belief that that is the push behind this effort to tell children that they can pick their gender and to confuse them. I believe our government is actually sponsoring mental illness. I've said this over and over again, right? Because people that are mentally ill cannot stand up on their own 2 feet, right? They become codependent with the government. They turn to the government for their hormone pills. They turn to the government for whatever pills that they can to make it feel better, right?
Viagra. And
you are seeing right now that adults are getting behind this narrative so that they can have a woke t-shirt on and say, I love my children. I allow my child to pick their gender and pick their species. And they feel proud of themselves because they can go and they can say this on Facebook that they're a wonderful, accepting, and loving adult, when in reality, they are underqualified to have children. They should have their children taken away from them because it's child abuse. It is child abuse to put a half-naked adult in the room with a small child and having them read a book. It's just child abuse.
Have you ever seen Drag Queen Story Hour? They are 100% not half naked. They are very, very clothed.
That's what it is. It's child abuse to ask your child.
So now what she's going to do here, she's going to show this picture in order to back up her point. Look, this is Drag Queen Story Hour, and there's a half-naked drag queen getting dollar bills shoved in their G-string. See? That proves her point when this is actually a cis woman who is a famous burlesque dancer, and apparently she was in some kind of bar one time, and her parents told this kid to come up here and do this, which I think is bad. She shouldn't have done that, but this has zero to do with Drag Queen Story Hour or drag queens in general or trans people. But she doesn't give a fuck because she knows the people that watch her show and listen to her won't listen. They won't actually go and research any of this stuff for themselves. They would just see this picture and immediately think that trans people are pedophiles, and that's exactly what she wants, folks.
Take a dollar bill and put it into the thong of a grown adult. It's child abuse. It's child abuse for teachers to be telling children, knowing fully well that it is a lie, that they can switch their gender biologically, right?
Yeah,
but
she's got to talk about lies. That's all they fucking do. They have no shame. They want violence towards trans people. They're giddy about it. Just the most evil sacks of shit. And here they are, folks. This is where it's headed. Here's Jordan Peterson, doctors, psychotherapists, liars, and butchers, talking about people that give trans kids and trans people therapy and care. Arrest them, says Jordan Peterson. This is what they want to do, folks. They want to arrest anybody who helps trans people, and they want to take their children away from them. Trans people who make up less than 1% of the population, who, as far as I can tell, at least especially compared to like religious people, aren't doing much out there. But they have to have a scapegoat. They have to have something to distract you with, because their policies are very unpopular, and it's working, folks. It's working. Latest poll shows that even after all this January 6th stuff, even after all we know about it, 44% of the people still prefer Donald Trump to 42% of people who prefer Joe Biden. It's just fucking crazy. And like I said, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm introducing a bill to make it illegal for children to be exposed to drag queen performances. Yeah, or freedom. Total freedom, isn't it? Nope. Authoritarian's gonna authoritarian from the American Taliban. That's what they're gonna do, folks. They're gonna take over in the midterms. I wouldn't be surprised to see Donald Trump win again, and that's game over for our democracy. This is what it's going to be, and I'm really scared for my trans friends and family out there, because getting worse and worse and worse. But hey, look at the bright side. Maybe Trump won't win the presidency. Instead, maybe it'll be Jimmy Dore, who apparently is running for president. Now, first off, before I get into the Jimmy Dore story, let me cover this one, which dovetails into the Jimmy Dore story. The World Health Organization confirms 18 attacks on Ukrainian hospitals and ambulances, creating the worst possible ingredients for spread of disease. They're attacking the hospitals, they're killing the doctors, committing war crimes, all documented, all reported by the World Health Organization. Or as Jimmy Dore says, just made up stuff from Amber Heard. It's the establishment, you shitlabs. Here, he thinks it's hilarious, folks. Spreading Russian propaganda, this Russian disinfo agent, and laughing about doctors and hospitals being bombed.
Ukraine's health ministry said it has limited access to information from Mariupol, but has conducted testing in Ukraine-held territory and not uncovered any cases.
Hilarious.
The Ukrainian mayor they cited is about as much the mayor of Mariupol as Juan Guaido, the president of Venezuela, by the way.
So the real guy is this guy. Is the Russian-appointed mayor. He's the real mayor. They will cover this. They, Russians, destroyed our infectious disease hospital with all the equipment and killed the doctors.
Oh.
Did Amber Heard write this article?
Amber Heard joke! Classic! Hilarious! Isn't hilarious how many doctors and hospitals have been bombed and killed? Funny stuff! from Jimmy Dore. So, of course, he's being encouraged to run for president. Here is the People's Party. I have some of the most thrilling news I have ever shared. Jimmy Dore is considering a run for president with the People's Party. We've been discussing it with him and Steph for several weeks, and he's talking about it on tour and on his show. Then they wrote a whole article about it. Let's have a read at this incredibly hilarious article. It's a dark time in America, and it's getting worse. Blah, 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 blah. Jimmy has been considering a run for president with the People's Party for the past several weeks. We've been discussing with him and staff, blah, blah, blah. The crowds in Des Moines, Omaha, Kansas City erupted in cheers when Jimmy surprised everyone in his live stand-up shows last month and said, "I'm thinking of running for president," and took town hall style questions for the first time. Anyway, I guess I'm going to skip this article because it's kind of boring, but it says he's hilarious. And the world would be much better off if Jimmy Dore was president. No thanks! No thanks, fuckos. I think I'm gonna stick with the establishment, you shitlibs! And then... oh yeah. This is the kind of people that are gonna support Jimmy Dore. It's the 4chan trolls, the exact type of people that you would imagine will be supporting Jimmy Dore. They don't actually give a shit. They don't actually care about any of us. They just want to hurt us and upset people. So they're like 100% supporting Jimmy Dore for president for no reason other than it would make the worst people so extremely angry. Yeah, I don't give a shit about our society. I don't give a shit how many people will be hurt if this fucking monster was president. Long as people are unhappy, that's all I care about. Yep, that's his audience. That's the people who are going to vote for Jimmy Dore. And then Andrew Yang is like, who do you trust the most? Politicians, comedians, journalists, and of course, all of Andrew Yang's sycophants like comedians. So I'm sure you got that Andrew Yang vote there, Jimmy Dore. Congratulations. And then, folks, all right, so show 4 last, I covered the Ezra Miller story poorly. I did a bad job. So I read an article about Ezra Miller, and it talked about how they, I'm going to get the pronouns right. I'm going to fuck it up. They, I guess, according to the article I read, were accused by this girl's parent. No, I think the girl is, and I think the person is also non-binary. So they were accused by this person's family of grooming them starting when they were 12 years old, and then they got older. And now they are 18 and they are living with Ezra Miller. And their parents say that Ezra was really weird towards them and took advantage of them. And they want to get help for their child. So, I read the article, and the person they're talking about, the child, was interviewed, and they said their parents were lying, and their parents were just mad that they didn't have control over them anymore, and they were just making up stuff towards Ezra Miller, and it wasn't true. And so I read that, and I was like, okay, well, I want to say I believe women, even though this person is they, but I believe the victims, and the victims said that they weren't hurt by Ezra Miller. So I said, looks like nothing's gonna come of this. Looks like nothing's gonna happen because they said it didn't happen. Well, this more shit came out this week, and holy shit, not looking good for Ezra Miller. Seemed like a giant fucking weirdo. So first, apparently, the cops been trying to get a hold of Ezra to, I guess, serve them the papers from the family of this person who wants to, I guess some kind of restraining order or something. So Ezra Miller got on their Instagram site and started posting pictures taunting the cops. "You cannot touch me. I am in another universe," said Ezra Miller to the cops. "Message from another dimension. I am shielded from negative people and their ill intent. My spirit, mind, body, blah, 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 blah. Me remembering how I was nice when I should have said, who the fuck do you think y'all talking to? Headache people, me." So anyway, then Ezra Miller deleted their Instagram account after taunting the police, which is never fucking smart. So then, folks, some more crazy, weird shit came out about Ezra Miller that I'm going to cover now, and it seemed possibly, I don't know, I wasn't there, seems like Ezra Miller might be sort of like a pedo or something, don't know. But anyway, apparently, he was hanging out at this family's house who had a 12-year-old daughter, and he started being really inappropriate towards the 12-year-old daughter and was trying to get her information and a whole bunch of creepy ass shit. And so the family basically has come out and talked about their experience. Apparently Ezra showed them a gun and threatened them while they were there and was being really inappropriate. Even the 12-year-old girl says this is true. So anyway, they put out a restraining order against Ezra Miller. And they're trying to serve him, but he seems to be on the run right now, which is really bad timing for Marvel Universe, who just spent like $150 million on this new Flash movie that he is the star of, that's about to come out any second now. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with that shit. I guess they're going to, I don't know, you think they're going to release it? Seems like they can't release it now. Seems like they're going to lose $150 million. But anyway, you can read this crazy ass story if you want to about Ezra Miller. But just wanted to quickly correct the record and say, I was wrong. Hey, I got one wrong. Bad Dusty. Bad Dusty. But that's not stopping the conservatives from coming out and using the fact that Ezra Miller is non-binary to declare all trans people are pedophiles and groomers. And they're doing that. Here's Lauren Southern. One of Hollywood's first they-thems has now kidnapped a teenager and is on the run. Can I use the word groomer now? I'm not sure he kidnapped this teenager they're talking about. She said that she's fine, but it didn't seem like he was being pervy towards the other little girl. They, God damn it. Seems like they, shit, I'm trying so hard, folks. I'm trying, it's hard, like, to get it right, but I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not being mean, I'm just stupid. But it takes time to get used to. It's fine. Anyway, can I use the word groomer now? Or are we still pretending that's a crazy conservative myth? It's still a crazy conservative myth, yes, because most of the groomers are in Catholic churches or Baptist churches or, you know, and the pastoral movement. And you don't give a shit about that. You never talk about that. So you don't actually care about children being raped and molested. You're just using this as a political ploy to shit on trans people. And it's very obvious. Very transparent. Yeah, that's what people don't realize. Like, I have a bunch of trans friends, and every once in a while, like, I do screw up the pronouns. And I've never had any of my trans friends get mad at me. They just correct me, because they know I'm not doing it on purpose. They know that I'm just stupid. But I actually care about them, and I respect them, and I'm not doing it to be disrespectful. And you can make mistakes. People are like, oh, you can't even accident. Yes, you can. You can. They just have to know that you're not doing it out of meanness, out of spite. If it's a legitimate accident, they're usually very forgiving about it. And then, folks, last up on the trash world, this is why I do not conceal carry. You guys might remember a year ago, exactly, actually, I bought a new gun, and I plan to conceal carry. Because in Mississippi, they have what you call constitutional carry, where anybody, just anybody, can conceal carry a weapon. You don't have to have no license. You don't have to ask nobody. You can just fucking do it. Sounds like all these other crazy people are doing it. I'm gonna start doing it. Well, this is the story that made me rethink that. Remember last year, this man's name is John Hurley. A year ago today, John was shopping in Arvada, Colorado, when someone started shooting. So Johnny went to the direction of the gunfire and shot the shooter. Then the Arvada police killed him. Yep. That's why I don't carry, folks, because it makes you actually less safe. Seems like you're more likely to die if you're carrying a gun around with you. So there's your good guy with a gun. That's what happens in this stupid-ass trash world. And all right, folks. Cool. That's my trash world. And folks, if you love my show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Somebody said, Dusty, it's Patreon. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Patreon. What the fuck? Patreon. Patreon.com/. Codcast, still the old name. There's a link in the description of this video. Hey, folks, $1 to a month, whatever you can afford, it all adds up. Please consider supporting the show. I work damn hard on it. Blood, sweat, and tears all the fucking time, and I could use your help. So if you can chip in, much appreciated. Thank you. Link in the description of the video once again. And now, Super Chats. Let's read the Super Chats. Please hit the like button, folks. Please hit the like button. The ratings have been a little low lately, but I guess it's fine. Whatever. I'm getting about 800, 8 whatever. It was like doing 1,000 before I lost a couple hundred. Seems like it'd be higher. Seems like it'd be going up instead of down. But what you gonna do? I don't know. It is what it is. Jelafaro, $2. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Parker Guerra, $4.99. Thank you, Parker. Not much, but here you go. Sending that dabba your way Tuesday, the latest. I appreciate it. I'll keep an eye out for that, Parker. I hope you're doing well, my friend, and stay great. Hey, I was going to cover the whole Blair White thing you sent me, and then I ran out of time to get this show together, so I might cover it next Monday. But I have it on my list of shit to do, I promise. Jason Anderson, 1989. Hey, very generous. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate the dumpster fire commentary, bro. Our chud is an awesome chud. Our chud is an awesome chud. Don't seem very good. JDZ for $5. Can't watch today. Jimmy Dore is a grifter, and he would never win. Yeah, he'll get less votes than Kanye. But I would almost want him to win to see him put his money where his mouth is. All he do is destroy democracy, just like Trump's going to do. Dusty, can only give you this right now. Hey, I appreciate it. It all adds up. Thank you. Mr. Napster 888, working, but still getting it live tonight. You the man, Dusty. Mount Podcast would suck without your content to inspire me. Hey, I appreciate it. Doing the best I can. Thanks for the support. Can you please say, "It's the establishment, you shitlabs," in your Jimmy Dore voice for my 6-year-old son who loves you? Hey, love your kid back, Justin. Good to see you tonight. Christine Fredrickson, $5. Hey, Dusty. Thanks for being awesome. Hey, thanks for supporting the show. You're awesome. Sedina Rose 49. Love to y'all. Love back, Sedina. Alt Fact, $20. Hey, you guys need to go check out Alt Fact's YouTube channel. I link it in my I constantly retweeting Alt Fact on my Twitter, which is CultofDusty1, but Alt Fact does a clip channel, and they've done a lot of great clips. So if you want to see short clips of my show, they're clipping out my show every time I do a show, and they have tons and tons of clips. They actually did what I said that people should do. All my stuff is public domain. You can all take my show, you can clip it out, and you can keep all the money for yourself, and they're actually doing it. They're doing a good job. So you guys go check out Alt Fact's YouTube channel. Why does it matter if they feel pain? Isn't God's to judge? They want you to feel pain because they're cruel sons of bitches. Joe Punk is here, $2. I don't know what that says, but right back at you, comrade. Hog and Foo, you should make TikToks of each clip you do. That'd take a long time. Every time I make a TikTok video, they deny it for some reason. I don't know. TikTok sucks. Ford, 8484, $5. Top of the morning, brother. Keep up the good fight. I will. Appreciate it. Good to see you tonight, Ford. Ben Davis, $5. This is the age of the straw man argument. Yeah, post-truth society. GOP want to cancel freedom. They want to cancel democracy, that's for sure. Here you go, Dusty. Thank you, D. Appreciate it. Anthony Stark, $5 Canadian. Dusty, you sexy beast. You ain't never lied, Anthony. And Michael Moore, $2. I'm sure no kin to the other Michael Moore. Namaste to you. All right, please, more super chats. Help me out as we roll along on the greatest show in the history of mankind. And now we're going to do a little segment I like to call Beyond's Parody! And we got a short Beyond Parody tonight, but let's go ahead and kick it off. Folks, don't you love it when you have to make everything about your fucking self in order to fish for compliments? Look at this transparent bullshit. This woman just got to make it all about her for some reason. Martha Bueno. She's 25 and has never had a child. I'm 43 and have had 4 kids. Well, good for you. When people say I have to celebrate her body, who said you got to celebrate her body? Mind your own business. What the fuck? But I should feel ashamed for showing mine. Who said you have to be ashamed for showing yours? What are you even talking about? I realize that society doesn't care about praising hard work, ethics, and self-control. It takes work to stay fit. Shut the fuck up. It's not about you. Good Lord. How insecure are you to have to make all this shit about you? Beyond parody, lady. Get your shit together. And then, folks, you gotta see this one. So, did you guys know that oil, even though it takes millions upon millions of years to make, is renewable? Sure.
Fuels, which, by the way, newsflash, oil is a renewable resource. Mother Earth is making it all the time. They have been lying to us about everything. And it goes all the way back to the Revolutionary War times and the Civil War. They used words and diction and wordsmiths and sneaks like attorneys to create the fabrication to make you think we still had our independence. Well, if we were so independent, why were we locked down for the past couple of years?
That's right, folks. The Earth just make it all the time, even though it's not. Takes millions of years to make. We're headed towards peak oil. It's running out, but it's just like solar power, the same. We are doomed. This is at the Red Rock event headlined by Eric Trump and Mike Lindell. This is Ann Vandersteel. Super genius. Always bringing the best to conservative conferences and shit. And then, folks, crypto bros are always beyond parity. So now they want the government to bail them out. They want to privatize the gains and socialize the losses, just like the banks do. Ethereum co-founder says every average smallholder impacted by Terra's stablecoin crash should be made whole. Cites FDIC's $250,000 as precedent. Yeah, let's have the government just bail out all the crypto bros who invest their money in fucking crypto. Sure. Now fuck y'all. That's what you wanted, isn't it? No regulations. The government not telling you what to fucking do. Now you lose your money, you want a government bailout? Of course you fucking do. Fuck y'all. Beyond parody. And then the new Gina Carano movie's out, folks, and they're not even bothering to tell you what it's about. This is how they're advertising it. Disney canceled her. Hollywood left her for dead. What the fuck you talking about? She rich. The uncanceling begins exclusively on the Daily Wire. So apparently, Ben Shapiro, a little bit of Shapiro, he hired Gina Carano, and they made a Western movie, and it's coming out. And it's called, I can't remember what it's called, something. But anyway, they had a big watch party for it, and all the A-list celebrities showed up. Like Rob Schneider was the only motherfucker to show up to this movie. What is it called? Terror on the Prairie. And I actually went to try to watch it, but it's not available yet on the pirate sites. Not that I would ever pirate anything, because pirating is murder. But eventually it will be, and I'm going to watch it because it's a Western. And regardless the fact that it's made by the Daily Wire and Little Ben Shapiro and has Gina Carano in it, I'll be able to mind it because I love me some Westerns, y'all. And I'll let you know how it is. But way to bring out the A-listers. That's a huge bitch. And then, did you guys hear about James Patterson, one of the richest authors in history? Dude has $850 million, has been on the New York Times bestseller list like 200 times, came out last week and said that white men were being racism against and are having trouble finding jobs in the writing world, which is fucking nuts. Dude's worth $750 million, so he was roundly panned for this fucking stupid bullshit. Some people think that he was only saying this because he has a new book out and he's just trying to get attention. He's just cynically doing it to try to, I guess, whip up controversy in order to get attention and sell books, but whatever. So lots of publications have been pointing out, hey, white men make up 30% of the population, but they have 47% of the writing jobs. So what the fuck you talking about, Willis? Just lying, making up shit, but always these white fragile motherfuckers gotta play the victim, even though he's one of the most successful authors of all time, even though he has $750 million. Never enough. The white man is so oppressed. Holy shit, how fucking embarrassing. Of course, he apologized for it, but fuck you. And then, speaking of beyond parody, mixed with what the fuck, mixed with Trash World. Did you guys hear about this one? So apparently there's an oil tanker has been sitting out in the ocean for 6 years now. And it's about to be ripped apart and spill hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil into the ocean. An ecological travesty about to happen. And the UN is trying to crowdsource, get me and you to chip in $20 million so they can fix it. Why don't you get the fucking oil companies to chip in? What the fuck? Why are you asking the public for this? This is just the craziest fucking shit. An oil tanker off the coast of Yemen with more than 1 million barrels of oil is close to breaking up and spilling its load into the seas. The UN is asking for the public's help in raising $20 million to prevent a catastrophic oil spill. The tanker ship, not so aptly named Safer, irony, has been sitting in the ocean for more than 6 years because of a halt in negotiation between Houthi groups and the Saudi-backed government. Yeah, the Saudi-backed government, they don't have enough money. Over the ownership and responsibility. The public funding would assist in transferring oil off the vessel before it breaks up and pours into the Red Sea, which would impact fishery, livelihoods, ports, and shipping channels. So if we chip in, do we get to keep the oil? They say the oil is worth $144 million. We chip into $20 million. Can we sell the oil and make a profit? No. No, you're going to give the oil money to the oil companies and we're going to get... God damn it, this world sucks. So stupid. Sometimes it's hard to fucking do this show. It's so ridiculous, but that's my Beyond Parody. Hell yeah. And folks, gonna read more super chats at the end of the show, so please chip in if you can. Please help support the show. I'm working hard on it, not making much. So if you can help me out, do so more like yourself. And also hit the like button, fuckos. Do it to it. And now, gonna do a little Chud Watch. You know why? Because we talk about chuds and we make fun of them on the Chud Watch. And first off, on tonight's Chud Watch, a little Schadenfreude. Occasionally it feels good to bask in the misery of others. And this time it's Mike Lindell, who fucked around and found out he has been dropped by Walmart, which is going to cost him at least $10 million a year. Because he couldn't shut the fuck up spreading false lies about the election. Here he is whining about it. Love to hear him cry.
Years ago, and I said, I get it. You're canceling us. And he had this smirk on his face, and I slammed the computer. Disgusting. Shame on you, Walmart. Shame on you.
Shame.
You know, just because you thought you could wait until now for the American people, for the people of this country, to sit there and do a slow cancel out. It's just as bad. You should have just done it on day one when I stood up with the evidence out there. That's what they should have done, Brandon.
Evidence.
You know, they're cowards. They're disgusting.
Yep, they gave you millions of dollars. They helped you out, but they're cowards and disgusting now. You ain't got no loyalty to Mike Lindell, but he'll probably still make tons of fucking money in this trash world. And you guys hear about this one? Dr. Oz, who continuously shits on immigrants, wants to close the border. The Mexicans, be very afraid of the Mexicans, has apparently made millions of dollars off illegal immigration because of fucking course he has. These motherfuckers are so evil. They'll make millions off illegal immigrants on one hand and then demonize them with every breath on the other hand. Dr. Oz says he'll fight to end illegal immigration, a business owned by his family, in which he is a shareholder, faced the largest fine in ICE history for hiring unauthorized workers. Of course, he said, hey, we're just silent partners in this business. We don't have anything to do with it. You're still making fucking millions and millions of dollars. As Plund Tree Experts Company, one of the largest privately held companies in the United States, headquartered in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, pleaded guilty today to unlawfully employing aliens. An ICE press release about the settlement said, in connection with the scheme in which the highest levels of management remain willfully blind, including Oz, while lower-level managers hired and rehired employees they knew to be ineligible to work in the United States. Yep. They also donated a bunch of money to Dr. Oz's Senate campaign and were sentenced to pay forfeiture in the amount of $80 million and an additional $15 million to satisfy civil claims arising out of their failure to comply with immigration law, an amount that represented the largest payment ever levied in an immigration case, according to the press release. So, of course, this is the company giving Dr. Oz millions and millions of dollars as he shits on immigrants, because that's always the fucking way it is. Just so evil. And Herschel Walker, speaking of lying sacks of shit, one of his biggest spills he likes to put out there is how black men quit abandoning your families, having all these babies with all these different women. Single mothers raising these kids are actually one of the biggest problems in our society right now. Well, shocker, folks. The dude has 4 kids by 4 different women. And he's been hiding it while he goes out there and talks out of the other side of his fucking mouth. Because this is what they do. They're lying fucking pieces of shit. And they know it doesn't matter because conservatives never hold them accountable for fucking anything. And they're probably still going to get elected to the Congress. But yeah. So, makes it even more ironical that the only kid he's actually publicly, up until now, admitted is his, this dude went public and said this. I wonder who he's talking about here. And also I want to apologize that this guy is so unfucking likable. God damn it. He's purposely trying to be unlikable because the more unlikable you are, the more conservatives reward you because that's what they are. So I apologize, but no, that's not it. That's not even the one I was going to play. Fuck, where is it? Where is it? God damn it. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to play it. Anyway, it's him talking about how you need to raise your kids. Quit having all those babies with baby mamas and not being present in their lives. Just hypocrite of the highest fucking order, but that's not even the video.
Stay home and raise your freaking kids. Your kids need a father. Get back home. Stay home.
Just so unlike him. I mean, even when I agree with what he's saying, he's so unlikable that I want to do the opposite. Just to spite him. I don't care what he's saying. If he said it in that tone, get outside and give water to those hot, hungry dogs. Go outside and help that cat that's injured in the street. I'd be like, no, fuck that cat. Just because you're talking to me like that, motherfucker. I hate that cat and that dog just because of you. Herschel Walker's son, but anyway, annoying. God damn it. But he'll be up there in Congress annoying us all on taxpayer dollars soon, because that's what a fucking piece of shit this country is. And Michigan governor candidate Garrett Sedano doesn't know what pronouns are, but that doesn't stop him from letting you guys know what his are.
Garrett Sedano, and I don't co-parent with the government. My pronouns, conservative, patriot. The woke groomer mafia wants to indoctrinate and subjugate our kids to their warped fantasies. It's time to fight back. As governor, I'll turn Michigan into the parents' rights capital of America and transition Walt Whitmer out of office.
Transition him out of office. It's all about transpanic transfer because that's all they got. But it's working, folks. It's working. It's all they need. And as I told you earlier, the January 6th committee is still going strong. They've had their 3rd day yesterday, and here's a quick recap of the shit they've uncovered on this day.
That President Trump said I had the right to overturn the election. But President Trump is wrong. I had no right to overturn the election. The presidency belongs to the American people and the American people alone. And frankly, there is no idea more un-American than the notion that any one person could choose the American president.
Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence to do something no other vice president has ever done. The former president wanted Pence to reject the votes and either declare Trump the winner or send the votes back to the states to be counted again. Mike Pence said no.
What the president wanted the vice president to do was not just wrong. It was illegal and unconstitutional. As the federal court has explained, quote, based on the evidence, the court finds that it is more likely than not that President Trump and Dr. Eastman dishonestly conspired to obstruct the joint session of Congress on January 6th, 2021.
The president latched on to a dangerous theory and would not let go because he was convinced.
I guess I'm going to skip over that. I've already told you guys all this, so we're learning stuff that I already told you about. But basically what we found out is that everybody on Trump's legal team told him that this was illegal. They all told him that there was no election fraud, and he did it anyway. And it looks like he was working with the Proud Boys. I guess more of that's going to come out. But here's the guy. He was listening to one crackpot lawyer, the only guy that was kind of telling him what he wants to hear. Dr. John Eastman, who went on record, says, hey, I've decided that I should be on that pardon list. If that's still in the works, yeah, throw me on that pardon list, said every innocent man ever.
White House attorney Eric Hirschman, testified that the next day, January 7th, he received a call from...
I'm going to skip over that too, folks. I just told you everything it said, so I can tell you much quicker than I can play these clips. And then, folks, this is getting real scary. So, court document in Proud Boys case laid out plans to occupy Capitol building. They planned this. Of course, I told you ahead of time they were planning this. But now we have the fucking documents where they talk about it themselves. A document titled 1776 Returns, which federal prosecutor said was used by the leader of the Proud Boys, lays out a plan to occupy Capitol building on January 6, 2021, using covert operators to let patriots inside government offices in an apparent effort to force a new election. Enrique Tarrio, the former leader of the Proud Boys, and 4 other members were indicted on seditious conspiracy charges this month. Tarrio has twice been ordered to be detained until trial. The 9-page document filed in federal court Wednesday lays out a plan to fill buildings with patriots and communicate our demands. This goes to show you, like I said, it wasn't just spur of the moment. They planned this, folks. Its stated goals included maintaining control over a select few but crucial buildings in the D.C. area for a set period of time and getting as many people as possible inside the buildings. These are our buildings. They are just renting space, the document reads. We must show our politicians we, the people, are in charge. So it listed all the targets. Under section titled Manpower Needed, the document lays out 5 different roles. Lead, covert, sleeper, sets up fake appointments, is expected to spend the day as our insider and let people inside the buildings. Second, takes the place of the lead in case of being discovered. They need number 3, they need a hype man, leads chance, must maintain energy, presence. Number 4, recruiter, in charge of getting patriots for starting point for each building. Share the Patriot Plan document, spread the word. Number 5, maintain a presence while handing out the Patriot Plan. So like I said, they planned this from the very beginning. They wanted to go inside the buildings and scope them out so they know what was going on ahead of time. And it gets even scarier, folks. Congress people were apparently giving them tours. Here's Jimmy Kimmel talking about it and showing the video.
Is focused on the representative from Georgia, Barry Loudermilk, who told the press last summer he never gave a group of Trump supporters an inside tour of the Capitol right before the insurrection. Well, surprise, surprise, they had video that showed he quite clearly did. Now, this is the tour group, as it were, down in the bowels of the building.
Look, they're fucking filming the staircases, all the office buildings, all the places that no reasonable person would be filming or taking pictures of. Why are they doing that? Well, most likely so they could go get that information to the Proud Boys. These are Congress people, folks, conspiring to overthrow the fucking government. And Donald Trump was at the Faith and Freedom Conference. I guess this was today. And before I get into the next thing he talked about that's terrifying, of course, he's got to take a shot at transgender people, because transfer is basically all they fucking have.
Pushing woke gender ideology. Woke gender ideology. Think of it. On young people is nothing less than child abuse. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without the parents' consent. And I don't think...
Yeah, don't teach transgender to our children. Whatever the fuck that means. It doesn't mean anything. But like I said, folks, democracy as we know it may be coming to an end. I just showed you Congress people letting Trump supporters case the place. The Proud Boys laying out documents exactly what they want to do. And Trump just outright declaring if he becomes president again, he's going to pardon all these people. No matter how many crimes you do, no matter if you're a traitor and you try to overthrow the government, he's going to pardon you and let you get away with it.
January 6th defendants are having their lives totally destroyed and being treated worse than terrorists and murderers, despite most being charged with parading through the Capitol. Most people should not be treated the way they're being treated. And if I become president someday, if I decide to do it, I will be looking at them very, very seriously for pardons. Very, very seriously.
Yes, right. If If you break the law for me, I'll pardon you. He's just telling you that outright, folks. So if he gets back in charge, that's exactly what they're going to do. This time, he's going to pick a vice president who will do what the fuck he's told, unlike Pence. And if whoever wins the next election, after that, he can just say, the vice president can decide. I can put anybody I want to in power, and they're gleefully and publicly talking about it, folks. Steve Bannon ranting that MAGA will destroy the Democratic Party and govern for 100 years. Just outright bragging about it, folks. They're going to get Trump back in and just rule us. Nothing we can fucking do about it. Here's Charlie Kirk saying the same exact shit. Just gleefully admitting the end of our democracy.
And guess what? It's not just Hispanics. Do you know who voted for a Republican for the first time in his life?
Skip watermelon. Yeah. Anyway, basically says, enjoy being completely politically irrelevant, because once you get displaced from power, we're not going to give it back, says Charlie Kirk. They're just straight up fucking telling us what they're going to do. They have Congress people in their pocket. And this is what they're going to do. Exclusive, about a third of the way through 2022 primaries, voters have nominated scores of Republican candidates for state and federal offices who say the 2020 election was rigged. Over 100 of them. So they're just putting the people in the office right now who will overturn our democracy. And it's impossible to do anything about it because one side is willing to play by the rules. They're willing to go along with democracy, and the other side is not. And if you have one side not willing to play by the rules, then the one side can just end democracy as we know it. That's how fucking fragile it is. And that's what the fuck they're doing, folks. I know I'm a doomer, I know I'm a gloomer, but look at the fucking evidence and tell me I'm fucking wrong about this. And at the same time, they're all just watching Fox News, sticking their head in the sand. Instead of covering the January 6th committee in any way, this is what they're covering on Fox News. Sorry, y'all. Christmas just had to be canceled. Yeah. Fauci's Christmas rules. Oh, they're covering the really important stuff, the war on Christmas, to keep their supporters in the fucking dark. But of course, they don't even have to do that because conservatives don't actually care about democracy. They don't care if we have a dictator. That's what they want. They just want to rule. They don't care about the will of the people. And this is how fucking stupid they are, folks. Here's Trump's spokesperson, Liz Harrington. Angry as shit that they're trying to pass red flag laws, which are simply laws that look at crazy people, and if someone is found to be crazy or an immediate threat to the public, we can take your guns from you. Before you go up and shoot up a school, before you go and shoot up a store. Common sense shit, but we can't even get that done.
But no, the real game is the red flag laws. That will turn us into the Soviet Union where anybody can just complain because of your politics or any reason under the sun, and your due process rights are thrown out, your Second Amendment rights are thrown out with them. We can't let this happen. We have to stop these rhinos from joining the Democrats. Again, why would you do anything with this party?
Even the most basic common sense shit, like take guns away from crazy people before they kill you, gets treated like it's insane by these conservatives. Here's another example. Senator U.S. John Cornyn was at the Republican Party of Texas convention, and he's dared work with Democrats on just the most basic red flag laws. That's it. Nothing, really. And this is how they treated him in Texas after 19 10-year-olds were murdered for trying to do even the smallest thing. This is their response to him.
So let's take our country back, starting with Congress in November. Thank you. God bless you. And may God continue to bless our great state of Texas.
They do not give a shit about your children, folks. They would sell the gun to the murderer again in a heartbeat, not give a second thought, because this is their fucking religion. Of course, Ted Cruz came out there right after him, and they give him a standing ovation. Came out to Eye of the Tiger. So, yep, that's what it's all about, folks. Doomed as doom can be, I must say. It's very depressing, and that is my Chud Watch. Sorry, it's so depressing. Sorry for party rocking. And now, moving right along. Got 30 minutes into the show. Might finish up a little early. Got a very, very short Karen section. And you know why? Because, bitch, you're caring too much. Ding! And first off, on tonight's 2-video Karen section. Did you guys see this? Was apparently, my understanding of the context of this is there was some 10-year-old black kid playing next to, I don't even think this guy's kid's there. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there, but I guess the black kid wasn't playing like he thought he should. So he's complaining to the woman, and then he starts threatening her, and let's watch.
Ma'am, you need to get my child.
You need to get out of my space
I will break
right
your
now.
jaw and fucking
I dare you. Get the camera out. Get the out. camera out. It's recording.
Listen,
Thank
that's
you.
great.
You're recorded.
That's
And this
great.
is going to be aired. And
Just
we'll see
stay
if you
away
have a
from-
job tomorrow.
That's great. Stay
We'll
with
see
my
if you have a
child.
job tomorrow.
Yes, I
Nobody's
will
even
have a
on your
job.
child. We'll see. This is going to get aired.
That's great.
You do not come in a woman's face and threaten to break her jaw. You do not threaten to break my jaw.
Listen, if
You
my
do
child
not
gets hurt-
threaten to break my jaw. Get out of her face. Do you understand? Because I have my
Gonna bend over and try to intimidate her. Big man.
and they can go really, really bad. Let's call the police right now because you threatened me.
So I bet he's lost his job. Anybody know? Anybody know if he's lost his job yet? Let's see. I know they identified him. Let me find out and see here. Anyway, anybody know? I bet he's lost his job already. Wouldn't be surprised. You about to lose your job? Might not want to act like that on video, dipshit. And then one more, folks. It's not really a Karen video so much as a crazy lady. But since I didn't have a what the fuck section tonight, this goes in the what the fuck section. Meanwhile, on a normal flight, this lady sort of freaked out when the flight was diverted. Let's have a look.
Goddamn fucking planes! You wanna be shitty and bitchy to me? You will see me fucking pissed! You will! Oh, get me the fuck out of this plane! I will fucking fight! I don't fucking care! Put me in a fucking sight fest! You know who my brothers are? They're fucking Marine snipers! You wanna fuck with the fucking Marine? Let me the fuck out, you bastards! Go to fucking hell! That's me fucking me! You wanna know what hell is? I fucking been there! Sit fucking times! I've lived! Tell the fucking story! You wanna know what happened to my family? You wanna know!
I don't think she's okay. I don't think she's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You fucking know!
Yeah, all for medication. Doesn't seem great. Woman goes ballistic when her flight is diverted. I guess I kind of feel bad for her. Definitely, we need better mental health care in this country. It's definitely a fucking shame. And all right, that's my quick and easy Karen section. And let's roll right along, cause you can be a hero. I didn't do that good, but anyway, we're gonna do a hero section, and that was awful, Dusty. Terrible, terrible. I'm gonna blame the heat for that one. I need a hero! Slightly better, still bad. So first off, on the hero section, Chris Evans! Love me some Chris Evans. Chris Evans always stands up and does the right thing. So apparently, people are being homophobic over Buzz Lightyear. And he always stood up saying, hey, these homophobic pieces of shit are like dinosaurs. They're going to die off and become extinct someday. And he's right. America's ass. Chris Evans seems like a good guy. Love him. Too bad he's not in the Marvel Universe anymore. And then, big shout out to the mom of the Patriot Front dude. Dude is 27 years old, still live with his mama. And apparently she was watching when all these white supremacists got busted in the back of a U-Haul recognized one of them was her son. And then he came back to her house and he was like, Mom, don't believe what they're saying. We were just out there because all the gay people are groomers and we were just trying to stand up for children. And she was like, get your fucking shit and get out of my house. Kicked this big giant fucking titty baby out of her house. So you go, Mom. And then she went public and publicly shamed him and said, hey, I'm hoping that if I publicly shame him, it'll change his behavior. But I ain't putting up with that. So cool, Mom. They all need to do this. Make examples out of your kids. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Yeah, 27. Living home with your mom. Exactly the type of people you would imagine in Patriot Front. And all right, folks, that was my quick but powerful hero section. Now we're going to finish it up with a little section I like to call, where is it? Slow News Week with Dusty Smith. Yeah! And first off, on tonight's Slow News Week with Dusty Smith, yeah! Yeah, I see this one. So these are stories that I normally wouldn't cover, but if it's a Slow News Week, I will cover things that I find interesting. And I'll ask you guys a question. I don't think I'm doing this just to pander to black folks. But it does seem like they are just, on average, cooler than white folks are. Why is that? Is it like years of oppression has forced them to be cooler? What is it about our culture that seems to make black culture just so much cool? Anyway, so here's a bunch of old dudes at a wedding, and dude, every one of them cool. Look at this shit. Now, if this was white dudes, everybody, that one white guy that nails it, and all the other ones embarrass themselves, every single one of them has rhythm. Every single one of them killing it. Why is this? Any theories out there? It's like a cool uncle party. They all know what they're doing. They all have rhythm. Even the heavy set ones doing it. Why? Why, white people? I don't know. What you guys think? Have you met us, Dusty? Mirror much? White people can't dance for one. Speak for yourself. I dance okay sometimes, but they getting it. They do like to have fun. Don't know. Thought that was cool. Wanted to share with you guys. And then, folks, this video went viral again. This is an older video, but it went re-viral. 95,000 likes on the Reddits. So, don't know if you guys saw this or not, but it has a surprise ending. Not going to ruin it for you. Let's have a look.
Gate isn't the one in London, it's a suburb of Adelaide. But it's the advert's last sentence that brought out a local TV reporter's crusading instincts.
I'd just like to ask you a few questions about the house you've got for sale.
Well, I'd rather not answer it.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. I'm not going to spell my business to anybody over there. No,
well, I'm not interested in how much you want for the house. I'm just interested in why you don't want any Asians to buy it and move in.
Well, because the simple reason they're too lazy.
Why don't you want Asians moving into your house?
Because I don't like the Asians, that's all there is.
You don't want them in your place?
They're just a mob of crooks, that's all they are.
And that there's a law against what you're doing?
Well, no one has told me that, and I mean to say even the Asians...
You think it's wrong?
Even the Asians himself, he said I can have my sign up, if I get a buyer, I can sell it.
But you won't sell it to an Asian person?
If they come up with a buyer, yes. All they're interested about is just to put the sign up. That's all. I've had agents, I haven't knocked them back.
What would... Oh, no, agents. Did you know what
Asians, I'm sorry, well, that's a bad expression.
Is that what you say, no Asians?
No.
You say no agents?
Agents, sorry.
Just a misunderstanding, folks. Little language barrier there. Agents! He's speaking foreign, though, so it's to be understood. A little bit of mistake. And then, did you guys hear about Vince McMahon, who, in my opinion, is a horrible fucking piece of shit? Apparently, he's stepping down as WWE CEO, and I know you guys are going to be shocked by this, but he's been having some affairs with the women that work for him. I can't believe it. An outstanding dude like Vince McMahon having affairs? Get the fuck out. Of course, his whole stepping down as CEO is also bullshit. Vince McMahon has built and runs WWE more than anybody has built and run a company ever in the history of mankind. He's still going to be in charge regardless if he backs down or not. And I was just curious. Apparently he paid some hush money, like millions and millions of dollars in hush money to this woman and to other people. Apparently he's done it a bunch of times. And I was wondering who the fuck is he having affairs with? Apparently it was his secretary. Vince is being investigated for paying $3 million in settlement money to his former employee. He gave her a bunch of like titles and stuff. At first she was making $100,000 and then $200,000. And then it listed all these other women that he also had affairs with. And I was like, who are these people? Let's look up and see the women that Vince McMahon supposedly had affairs with. This guy gets around, man. Vince McMahon, Eva Torres, supposedly had an affair with Eva Torres. Let's see who else. Caitlin Molina Perez. Never heard of these people. Let's see. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. Pretty. Man, Vince McMahon. I mean, I guess it's to be it's understandable. Women like powerful men. Sometimes they're attracted to their bosses. Vince McMahon also is tall and muscular because he does a lot of steroids and shit. So apparently he bedding half the WWE staff. I guess you go, Vince. I don't know. Really shouldn't have sex with your employees, I think, but I'm also not in any way surprised you're doing that. Kelly, never heard of any of these people, but damn, Vince and Thingy. I don't know who Thingy is. I'm not even gonna look. So nobody's shocked by that. And once again, a little bit of a schadenfreude. Wrestling is not my thing. Me either. I've not watched wrestling in years and years and years, but it's a slow news day. And sometimes I just like to look and see how much the Bored Ape Yacht Club apes are crashing. And so this was a couple days ago, so it's even worse today than it was when this article was written. But how much is a Bored Ape is worth today? A purchase of a Bored Ape at the floor price on April 30th was $435,000. And today it is $94,643. So bad investments. Imagine being Seth Green and buying one twice for $300,000. Good God, y'all. I mean, and what I'm wondering is, what is their slurp juice situation? I don't understand why they just didn't take 3 slurp juices, and then for every single slurp juice, you can have 3 new apes by just applying your new slurp juice. All these words come out of my mouth make total fucking sense, y'all. You know what I'm saying. Slurp juices, motherfuckers. And then, folks, it's the week of artificial intelligence again. Everybody seems to be in love with DALL-E Mini and all these pictures that DALL-E keeps making. Thought I would share some of the new ones with you this week. Here's one. Knife fight in retirement home. Pretty cool. For those of you who have not seen the previous shows, they have a new artificial intelligence. And you type in what kind of pictures you want to make, and then it instantly creates pictures based on what you type in. And it's pretty fucking amazing. The future is here. And it's pretty entertaining. And the old people are knife fighting. And of course, it's always nightmare fuel. Scary as fuck. And then, yep, this tracks. Atheist YouTuber. Yes, I can see it. I'm pretty sure some of these are an amalgamation of myself and the Amazing Atheist. Definitely got that one right. Let's see what else they got. Oh yeah, Donald Trump as the baby from the Nevermind album cover. I can see it. He's slowly morphing into it, and boom, huge. That's a huge baby right there. Let's see what else we got. Jesus Christ laughing at a meme on his phone. How does this AI know how to do all this? It's interesting to see what the AI thinks of us, but it's really impressive how good it is. Notorious Big Mioe. Notorious B.I.G. is an Easter Island statue. Look how good it is. How the fuck does it know? That's just cool. Artificial intelligence is cool as shit. Here's a courtroom sketch of Capybara suing Elon Musk. Go, Capybara! Bankrupt that son of a fuck. Love to see it. See what else we got. Jesus turning water into wine on America's Got Talent. Get rid of him. I would definitely ding that motherfucker. Boring, boring. Penn and Teller, much more entertaining. See what else we got. Gandalf, Employee of the Month. And look how happy he is to be Employee of the Month. He worked hard for that. You shall pass, Gandalf. And here's one. Funeral at Walmart. And that's how I want to go, folks. Just take me through the Walmart aisles. Hey, that's where I spend most of my time. Might as well take me back to my roots at Walmart. And then, two more. Real quick. Click, motherfucker, click. Oh, morbid. People watching a public execution at Disney World. They just hanging on the rods, swinging in circles. That's just nasty. Not the happiest place on earth anymore. And one more. What is it? Oh man, they're so good. Pharaoh Darth Vader of Egypt. That AI. Man, they're gonna be the best artists in the fucking world. Gonna take my job over. Eventually gonna be an AR that just copies my face and mannerisms and does the whole fucking show. I don't have to do shit. I'm gonna watch the shit out of that when the AR does my show. That's gonna be entertaining as fuck. And then, folks, one more. This is not Dolly Mini, but apparently AIs are so smart now that they are able to write jokes as if they were performed by Jerry Seinfeld. So they basically told an artificial intelligence to write a comedy act as if it were Jerry Seinfeld, and then they had a different AI do the voice of Jerry Seinfeld, and they put it together. So this is a complete constructed AI masterpiece, and look how good AI is getting.
Why does it seem like every time you're watching TV, there's a commercial for a new brand of cat food? And it's always some kind of crazy new flavor, like tuna and salmon surprise, or chicken and liver delight. I don't need a new flavor of cat food every other week. Just tell me what was so bad about the old ones. They were great. And why are they always trying to trick us with these new flavors? They'll be like, we know you like tuna, so we put some tuna in this can, but we also put some other stuff in there too. I don't want to have to guess what's in my cat food. I just want it to be tuna. That's it, just tuna. No surprises. And don't even get me started on those specialty cat foods. I saw one the other day that was for indoor cats. What the heck is that about? Are there different foods for different kinds of cats now? So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to start feeding my cat different foods depending on where exactly he is located. That's just ridiculous.
That's a solid joke right there. God damn it. Soon the AI's going to be making all our movies for us, going to be making all our TV shows. Writers going to be out of job, actors going to be out of jobs. Going to be AI all the way around. And I, for one, welcome our AI overlords. Definitely going to be fucking cool. And all right, folks, that's my material. Hope you enjoyed it. You know what? I got one more I might show you. Maybe. We got a little time. One more that I saw earlier that I thought was kind of cool with a bunch of deep fakes. Hopefully this will not get me copyrighted. I'm kind of worried about playing it. I played a little bit of it. Let's go to my saved under, upvoted under my Reddits. So they took deep fakes. They had AI deep fake characters from Terminator 2, and they replaced some of the characters with other actors. Like the main Terminator is now Sylvester Stallone. And we'll skip ahead a little bit. The fat guy in the truck is Kanye West. There's Kanye. They're just getting so good. Look, Kanye! And then Terminator gets born. Then he comes up and it's Sylvester Stallone! I am the law. Amazing. Skip ahead. And then they have Jim Carrey and Brad Pitt in the movie. And this is Arnold Schwarzenegger playing a different role in the movie. Then Then Rambo comes over and kills him. So I've talked about this before, folks, but eventually you're just going to be able to like literally just type in what type of movie you want to watch and type in who you want to star in it, and it's just going to create from scratch movies and shit with whatever actors we want in it. And it's coming sooner than you might think. Let's skip over that. Let's skip. He's going to a bar. Oh, there he is. That's William Dafoe at the bar. So I'm definitely gonna I need to mute that. William Dafoe here, looking around, and here's. I think Donald Trump is in this somewhere. Oh yeah, that's William Dafoe. It's fucking amazing. All this shit is crazy how good they're getting at this. And like I said, there's a future, folks. It's coming. And can't wait for it. I think it's cool as shit. All right. That's my material. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Gonna read the super chats real quick. Please, please, please hit the like button before you go. It's the least you can do. Justin Joseph says, AI being able to replicate Jerry Seinfeld is not a testament to how funny and talented Jerry Seinfeld is, but to how overrated and banal he is. I mean, that's true, but it's still very impressive it can do that, in my opinion. Eron Worley. What's up, Eron? How do you spell that? Or how you pronounce it? Aaron? What program do Jedi use to open PDF files? Adobe Kenobi. Roger. Dad joke, but I love it. Thank you, Eron. Very generous. Good to see you tonight. Kaya Rick Kelly, $5. Got to drop some cash for the fur babies. From one cat dad to the other, hell yeah. Crazy cat ladies for life. Selenia, $20. Very generous. Thank you, Selenia. Because you're awesome. You are, Selenia. Joe LaFaro, Dusty, please consider supporting Sandy Hook Promise or the Brady campaign. All right, done. I support it. Kuya Rick Kelly, $5. The RC trends and LGBT plus people as mentally ill. That law would remove us from being able to defend ourselves. Yeah, they're trying to genocide trans people. It's absolutely what's happening. Ruler ruin the Republican plan. Yep. They're definitely going to destroy democracy. $20. Thank you, Morton. That's very generous. Dusty Benedict Trump. I know, traitors all the way down. Urban Moss, $10. I'm super cynical about everything accountability in the U.S. government, but I think they're getting ready to indict him. The January 6th Council being public is a PR public opinion pre-indictment campaign. I hope so. I know I'm kind of a gloomer and doomer. I'm hoping I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, but I'm trying to keep my expectations in check. Daniel Roman, $10. Logic. Love you, Dusty. Hey, love you, Daniel. Sixth hearing are giving me hope. If at least Trump can't run again, I'll be satisfied. All right, I got my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Love me some Dusty. Hey, love me some Kuya Rick Kelly. Lauren Shrek Sanctuary, $50. What? Super chat. Oh, wait. Travel to the world tonight. Lauren Starlight. Sorry, I've been absent with the financial support. My building burned down. The insurance finally came through. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad the insurance came through, and I appreciate you being so generous tonight. It's good to see you. Hero, Lauren. Alt fact, well, still get My Pillow commercials in Wisconsin, unfortunately. Yeah, they'll go to like other big box stores. No doubt about it, they'll still sell that shit. But it's good if they lost Walmart at least. Chud Watch is my favorite. Talk to DFF2. Left needs to unite. All right, I don't know. I mean, I got no problem with TJ. I don't really give a shit. I don't really want to talk to Paul, and I don't want to talk to TJ's stupid brother, to be honest with you. Neither one of those guys have ever said anything that I thought was intelligent or interested. But TJ's okay. I'll be friends with TJ. Tip Jaw, hey, thank you. Get the pitchforks. Appreciate it. Solid Night, $5. Thank you, Solid Night. Thanks for the last, brother. Hey, thanks for the support of the show, Jim. All right, cool. Anything else pop up? Thanks, says Elizabeth. Appreciate it. You rock. All right, folks. Going to do a real quick Q&A section to finish off the show. What you guys got to say? Ask me anything. My life is an open book. Let's see if anybody's saying anything to Dusty. Let's see what I've been watching lately. The new season of The Boys is out, of course. The Boys. Always love me, The Boys. I started watching Spiderhead last night, which is the new, what's that guy's name that plays Thor? He's in it. Like I said, I can never remember anybody's name because I don't give a shit which your name is. I started watching The Lake last night, which is a new like Netflix show, or maybe it's Amazon. It's not that good. That's about it. Nothing that interesting going on, to be honest with you. Cult of Dusty, have you heard of Eric Klopper. He gave a lecture at Harvard on why circumcision is BS, but got fired because opposing circumcision is anti-Semitism. He then sued Harvard but lost. That sounds like right. Was he canceled? Of course, they don't care about that. It's not cancel culture when they do it. But yeah, circumcision is genital mutilation, that's for sure. What are you playing for video games at the moment? What the fuck am I playing as video games at the moment? Let's see. The Brotato demo's out. I had fun with that. Luck Be a Landlord is a good time killer. Minion Masters and Clicker Heroes I didn't like. Leaf Blower I didn't like. So that's what I've been playing. I tried Elden Ring a little bit. Didn't really play that too much. Psychonauts 2 I tried. Didn't care for it. So I'm real fucking picky, unfortunately. What makes you happy? Box of Wine. Good TV show. Masturbation. Really love me some masturbation. Occasional blowjobs, pretty cool. Petting a cat, I enjoy that. You know, I'm a simple man. The little things in life, really. Whenever you get a chance, Dusty, check your Twitter messages. Be good, my friend. I will check it out tomorrow. I'm going to pass out here in a moment. I am tired as fuck. Colt to Dusty. You see the video of Mike Lindell hanging out in public with a suit coat and boxers on? Yeah, that was from a couple months ago. I covered that on my show. So, old video. Anything else? Blood Hunt is awesome. I haven't heard of it. I will look it up. Mike Myers in the Passion. You can definitely watch that if you want to. Not too distant future. AI will make it happen. Dusty, have you heard of S-Risk? S-Risks are hypothetical futures where AI results in extreme suffering on an astronomical scale. That sounds bad, but hopefully that won't happen. Let's just pour water on the computers. Simple fix. Dusty, 30 years old, living at their parents' house is the norm these days due to house affordability. I mean, I guess that's true. I was living on my own when I was 16, but I am old as fuck, so. Play Returnal. Okay, I'll look that up. Thank you for your opinion. Your opinion on furries. Don't seem to be hurting anybody. As long as you're having fun, all good to me. With the heat wave, where do you keep the dogs? The dogs have their own room, and like I have a huge house that's mostly wood. It's actually pretty cool in the house, and they have their own air conditioner there too, so they're fine. Do you listen to any podcasts? Not really. Occasionally I'll tune into some other people's podcasts, but it's not really my thing. Mostly they're kind of boring in my opinion. That's why I do this show. Apparently there is a huge request for you to watch some anime. Anime's not my thing either. I just don't care for cartoons that much. I don't know. The Japanese aesthetic just doesn't appeal to me. Anything else pop up? All right, folks. That's my time. I sure appreciate it. Please hit the like button before you go. As always, if you like my show, please consider helping out on Patreon. Patreon.com/Codcast. There's a link in the description of this video. Also a link. You can send direct tips to my PayPal. If you want to do that, that's a great way to chip in on the show. All of the things, please help me out if you're able to. And I will be back on Monday. It's only a couple days away. I'll find another good selection of material to entertain you guys with, as always. So, hope you guys have a good weekend. Dusty, have you ever done any psychedelics? Me? Nah, never. Wink. All right, folks, love the shit out of you. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Remember, the show's every Monday and Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern. Tell your friends, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to make sure you're notified on every show. See you guys soon. Love the shit out of you. And as always, till next time, Logic, fuck yes! Let's play a little Talking Points, an original song by Dusty Smith to play us out with. Good night, everybody. So listen up!
Don't you know it's time to be free? Won't you lend a hand? Won't you show the world your outrage? Won't you take a stand?
I call them racist because they just can't face this. Everyone seems so blind. I call them racist because they just can't face this. Every child's been left behind. All the rights are treaded on. All the rights can soon be gone. Civil rights just don't belong. Treated like some political pawns. Don't pretend that it is all fine because you made up on the unemployed line. Why your job gets reassigned to some Malaysian kid who's just pushing line. I'm a man of many talents, so let me break it down off fair and balance. I'll hop on the roof right off this drum and I'm busting out my talking points.
First they plan and then they lied about the W and D's, then they drop off till
dads and moms and many more Iraqis. Then they vacationed as the nation's children went off to war. How many more of our kids must die for a barrel of oil? 100 billion spent to kill them, meanwhile millions are still left here jobless while they rob our lost civil rights as well. It's time to move on and improve on the red, white, and the blue. I'll keep it 50, are you with me? These talking points are true.
It's time to judge my soul, when it's time to pay that toll. I know that at least those money stood for peace. And I know that on that day, when I finally have my say, the world will hear me. Cause I'm gonna shout it, gonna tell my mother, gonna tell my brother, if we love each other, we can make a change. Gonna tell my mother, gonna tell my brother, if we love each other, we can make a change.
First they planned and then they lied about the WMDs. Then they drop off, killed dads and moms and many more Iraqis. Then they vacationed as the nation's children went off to war. How many more of our kids must die for a barrel of oil? 100 billion spent to kill them, meanwhile millions are still left here jobless while they rob our lost civil rights as well. It's time to move on and improve on the red, white, and the blue. I'll keep it 50, are you with me? These talking points are true.
Spin the words like a top. I call them a lie cause it just never ties. Spewing their propaganda and I stop. Every day it's a simple song. We're the right and you're the wrong, but never fear, we will fight on. We'll keep speaking truth until you're gone. In the end, one thing is true, we're the ones looking out for you. I hope roll the roof right off the storm cause I'm busting out my talking points.
When it's time to judge my soul, when it's time to pay that toll, I know that at least those ones stood for peace. And I know that on that day, when I finally have my say, the world will hear me.
Cause I'm gonna shout it, gonna tell my mother, gonna tell my brother, if we love each other, we can make a change. Gonna tell my mother, gonna tell my brother, if we love each other, we can make a change. Gonna tell my mother, gonna tell my brother, if we love each other, we can make a change. Gonna tell my mother.